Comic Boom is 14 and a half years old, and I've been here the whole time, 22 West Street, Keene, New Hampshire. Okay, well, so there was a store here before called More Comics, and the guy was it was only here for like a year or two, and it looked more like a tag sale in here than a comic book store. He was a great guy, but he wasn't a retail guy. And I worked at record stores for half of my life at that point, and I kind of reached the peak of where I was, so I wanted to try something new. I heard he was selling, so I was like, oh, I love comics. I've loved them since I was a kid. But you'll notice that Comic Boom is kind of run like a record store, as opposed to your traditional comic book store. It helps that we don't just sell comics, we sell board games and Magic the Gathering, as you mentioned. We had Magic the Gathering DCI sanctioned events for the first 13 years, but as of COVID, they've been shut down. Space has been taken up by what has become the eBay store, which is kind of keeping the store around right now. So and in like 2007, like when I mentioned the economy kind of tanked, people didn't have the extra money for it, so individual issues weren't selling for much at all. Helped me stick around. So I don't think, if I was just a comic book store, I don't think I would have survived 14 years. If I was just a Magic store, I definitely wouldn't have survived for 14 years. But got a little bit of everything. I definitely got that. The good thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is it's gotten more kids into the store, because for a long time you could see the clientele getting older and older and very few children. But as of the popularity of the movies, we've had more children interested, and that's great because comics improve literacy. I got sick at summer camp, and when I was 8 years old, I got, and I was exiled to the library, and at that point I wasn't really much of a reader, and I found a stack of ROM Space Knight comics, and I read all of them. If it wasn't for ROM Space Knight, I never would have read Moby Dick. Distraction from how terrible the world can be right now. From comics and games, and it's kind of what's keeping us a community. It's not I don't think it's going anywhere, whether it becomes digital or the paper continues. It's still, I think it'll last. It just might grow and shrink, just like it always does.